It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Flush to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. And the Patriots take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Hey, check that, 18 Cardinals.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Burke. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
For as much as we extol his route running and him as a pass catcher, he might be better with the ball in his hands. He did not want to go down there until he found the end zone. And while he didn't quite get there, he and his guys are set up near the goal line now, 1st and goal.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Patriots get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. The Falcons had 3-9 now on the year. They're back home after flying to and losing in London last weekend.
And you and I both know, always a tough travel week with all the distractions. And you'd love to have the week off afterward, but that's not the case here. At the very least, you know they're happy to be back in their own building, but that was certainly not a trip to remember.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. I'm just impressed he held on to that football. You're coming across the middle on the crossing route like that, absorb that contact. Whew.
All we talk about in today's football is trying to get the football away from the offensive player. Sometimes you just can't do that, and you have to finish a play off with a good old-fashioned tackle, as we just saw.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle to Beckham. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That's the third time on this drive that these two are connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They'll run on first down. It's Tucker. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Juwan Bentley. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. So problems with Eric passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
Sometimes, Parker, this is the result of the quarterback is simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Marcus Jones picks it, and the Pats are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. But for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on fourth down. And this one's high, but not very far. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Second and 4. Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He finds his man complete. That's Tucker. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Open man has got it. It's complete. He's going to have the first down and more than that. Touchdown, Falcons. Chris Godwin, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons are back within a score. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this
and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great effort there. 70 yards. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared.
Touchdown! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Patriots take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time.
Now that certainly solidifies how to attack this 2-minute drill right before the half. I don't think they were going to try and run out the clock, but now after that big play, their thoughts are certainly of trying to score and get some points before the half.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick, and the Pats are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going up top. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Falcons will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do get it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air. And, of course...
And now here is another interception. And the Patriots will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because...
And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup of 38.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
The tackle there by Malcolm Rodriguez. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Pretty secure lead, but what's the harm in adding another touchdown, right? At least that's what they were thinking on that snap. But if he wants to add more points, got to bring the throw down just a little bit and keep it in the end zone.
Throw left side complete. That's Burke.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further because they got it first and goal.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Damian Harris with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Patriots have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat in the driver to get at the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
2nd and 5. And his throw here's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They pitch it to Harris.
And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he gets this up past the 30.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect the pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 41. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception's really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not on the scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
3 quarters have come and gone. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again.
He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Falcons going to smack
extra point. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
Barring the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, tell all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercepted. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Tucker. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
He completes it to Beckham. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I was going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick-6 on the other side, and now they get a pick-6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick-6 from earlier in this game.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Okay, break.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And that pick-6 a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth-quarter lead. And he coughed it up, and the Falcons grab it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders really become so adept at returning a free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, You go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
On first down, it's Tucker. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the fourth, they got to be careful.
They definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Let's go now.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Burke.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now in the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1.
They're going to look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Patriots have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads